we ain't got a whole lot of time. He's a legend. You feel me? Who the GOAT?
Michael Jordan. Okay, listen, and this is LeBron is one of my good friends. I have so much respect for what he's doing now, what he's done, and what he would eventually do, because he's not done yet. So it's definitely, I'm gonna say this, it would definitely be an argument that would need to be had. If LeBron James end up the #1 scorer of all time, top 5 in assists and top 5 in rebounds, and have 4 to 5, 6 championships, you cannot do nothing but have the conversation of who's the greatest of all time.
The conversation's already happening.
But the conversation has been happening, but it's not good. LeBron's still playing. It's hard to have that conversation about the greatest of all time when a man is still putting on his jersey, right? But when he's done, his lineup, his statistical lineup is going to be the greatest that's ever played the game when it comes to scoring, assists, rebounds, so forth and so on. I come from a Jordan era. I am biased, and I'm going to be biased to the day I pass away. Michael Jordan will be my GOAT.
I always loved you. I love you even more.
Oh, no, he would be my GOAT. But that doesn't mean I'm not taking anything away from LeBron. LeBron is amazing, but Michael Jordan is my GOAT. I play basketball because of Michael Jordan.
Yeah, but bro, y'all know how it is in the locker room. It's different. Like, y'all won championships together. And to me, this is the #1 question I had, because I see you on TNT. And I see you tweeting Instagram. Anytime a conversation come up, you're like, he's my GOAT, MJ.
He's my GOAT.
But you got MJ, that's your team, that's your man. Y'all on a banana boat together. You know what I'm saying? So does that ever get awkward?
You gotta be super cool to get on a banana boat with other grown men. You gotta be really close. You gotta be really close.
That doesn't get awkward where it's like, you are publicly saying this is my GOAT, and everybody else in the world is talking about who's the GOAT.
Not for me. I think my thing is like, this is a real conversation, right? All of us have our own individual opinions. This has nothing to do with, like I said, once LeBron James is done playing this game of basketball, I'm definitely gonna tell my grandkids, kids, that I played with one of the greatest to play the game of basketball. He will be the GOAT for a lot of generations. I started playing the game because of Michael Jordan. He will be my GOAT until the day I pass away. It doesn't take anything away from LeBron. This is just like LeBron. We started playing, we envisioned playing like Michael Jordan. So for me, from Chicago, where I grew up, I made it out the hood because I seen a dude, number 23, play the game of basketball at a level that I was like, I just want to do some of that.
Dwyane Wade, one of the greatest to emerge after the Jordan era and a man who once shared the spotlight with LeBron James, recently made a statement that sent waves through the basketball world. Michael Jordan will always be my GOAT until the day I die. That wasn't casual praise. It was a lifelong promise. Coming from a Chicago kid who grew up in the shadow of number 23, it carried the weight of truth. Wade didn't just pick a favorite. He revealed a reality that those who witnessed Jordan's reign already know. This was never a debate. Jordan wasn't just the best player. He was a force of nature, a symbol of dominance and fear. Every time he stepped onto the court, there was a chilling certainty in his eyes. The look of a man who already knew how the story would end. Opponents didn't even need to touch the ball to feel Jordan's presence. His aura alone was enough to suffocate them. And that's where the real generational divide lies. Fans who never saw Jordan play live cling to LeBron's stats, the points, the assists, the rebounds, the longevity, and convince themselves that greatness can be measured in numbers. But they couldn't be more wrong. Basketball isn't about math. It's about impact, presence, and fear. True greatness is when one man can shift the entire atmosphere of an arena with just a glance. Jordan had that power. He didn't just win games. He crushed hope. He didn't just score points. He shattered souls. LeBron, for all his talent, builds his legacy through numbers, crowned by fans who never felt Jordan's shadow firsthand. Out of that gap, the illusion was born that records can replace aura. But history doesn't bow to statistics. Numbers fade, but fear doesn't. Jordan's killer instinct, his dominance, his unmatched aura, those are eternal. That's his legacy, untouchable, unrepeatable, and forever beyond comparison. And in that space between eras, the truth becomes undeniable. Michael Jordan isn't just the greatest of his time or his team, he's the greatest of all time. LeBron may be the hero of this generation, but only for those who never felt the chill of standing beneath the shadow of number 23. You can write stats in record books, stack trophies, and celebrate milestones, but there's one thing you can't quantify, the aura of fear. That was Jordan's secret weapon, the untouchable element no one, not even LeBron, could ever replicate. When Jordan stepped on the court, His eyes already told the story. He knew the ending before the game even began. That wasn't luck, it was pure mastery. He understood that greatness wasn't just about skill or talent. It was about dominance, about planting fear in every opponent's mind. Look back at his immortal moments, like the 63-point masterpiece against Boston in 1986. No rings, no titles yet, just a young man dismantling legends. Even Larry Bird said it best afterward. That wasn't Michael Jordan. That was God disguised as Michael Jordan. And that wasn't flattery, it was fact. There was the surrender of defenders in the legendary 1992 Shrug game, when Jordan buried 6 straight threes in one half, then looked to the scorer's table and simply shrugged, as if even he couldn't explain the chaos he was creating. Portland never stood a chance. Then came the unforgettable flu game in 1997, Jordan, pale, drenched in sweat, barely able to stand, yet still dropping 38 points and willing Chicago to victory. That wasn't just basketball, it was human will forged into a weapon. And finally, the last shot in 1998, Byron Russell fell, Jordan rose, and the jumper fell clean through the net. 6 championships, dynasty complete. That final shot wasn't merely a basket, it was his closing statement to the world. I leave only after I've conquered it all. Every one of those moments echoed the same truth. Michael Jordan never let destiny pass to someone else. He didn't share greatness. He owned it. It wasn't duty that drove Jordan, it was instinct. And that's exactly where the canyon between him and LeBron becomes impossible to cross. Sure, LeBron has the stats, the points, the assists, the rebounds, and the kind of longevity that defies time. But what he never had was that killer aura, that icy stare that froze an entire arena before the ball even dropped. Too often, LeBron passed when the moment demanded a dagger. It's leadership, yes, but in the GOAT debate, that very empathy becomes a flaw. Jordan didn't inspire hope, he erased it. He planted fear in his opponents long before the buzzer sounded, while LeBron gave them belief they still had a chance. Jordan was a death sentence, inevitable and absolute. LeBron is a challenge, great, but beatable. That's why when true fans talk about the GOAT, they don't look at stats or spreadsheets. They talk about feeling, that chill when Jordan stepped onto the court, the silence that fell when destiny arrived. Jordan was the embodiment of cold-blooded dominance. LeBron is the statistical king. On paper, LeBron's resume is unmatched, top scorer, top 5 in assists and rebounds, a mountain of records. But basketball was never decided on paper. Greatness lives in moments that numbers can't capture. And that's where Jordan stands alone. Greatness isn't proven on paper, it's decided in those do-or-die moments when the whole world holds its breath. And that's where LeBron's cracks begin to show. Time and again, when the game begged for a killer, he passed, he trusted, he shared noble traits for a teammate, but not for the GOAT. The greatest doesn't share the kill, he finishes it himself. The 2011 finals against Dallas were meant to be LeBron's coronation, but instead, he disappeared. Fourth quarters slipped away, hesitation crept in, and the crown he was supposed to claim slipped through his hands. That scar has never faded. Now, look at Jordan. 6 trips to the finals, 6 rings, 6 finals MVPs. No collapses. No excuses. Just dominance. LeBron's resume shines with moments of brilliance. The legendary block in 2016, the statistical marvel of his career, yet it's fractured by those moments when he vanished under pressure. Jordan never did. Because while LeBron is a monument of numbers, Jordan is the embodiment of fear. And in the GOAT debate, fear is the language of truth. LeBron may have the stats, but Jordan owns immortality. And then comes Dwyane Wade's confession, not from a commentator or a rival, but from LeBron's brother-in-arms, the man who won titles by his side. If anyone had reason to crown LeBron, it was Wade, yet even he couldn't deny the truth. Yet even Dwyane Wade, LeBron's closest ally, drew his line in the sand. I come from the Jordan era. I'll always be biased toward Jordan until the day I die. Michael Jordan will be my GOAT. Those words weren't out of courtesy or nostalgia, they were testimony. The voice of someone who grew up in the glow of number 23, who picked up a basketball because of him. Wade himself admitted, I play basketball because of Michael Jordan. And with that, the debate falls silent. Because Jordan wasn't just greatness, he was the beginning, the spark that ignited a generation. The man who inspired millions while striking fear into every opponent who stood in his path. He didn't just shape basketball, he defined what greatness would look like forever. Wade gave LeBron his flowers. He praised him as one of the greatest to ever play the game, acknowledged his unmatched numbers, his longevity, and the empire he's built through stats and consistency. Wade even admitted that in the eyes of future generations, LeBron might stand as their GOAT, the one they grew up watching, the one whose record books will be nearly impossible to surpass. But then came the cold, unwavering truth that froze the debate in its tracks. For me, Michael Jordan is the GOAT. And that wasn't said by a rival or a critic. It came from a man who shared the court, the glory, and the grind with LeBron himself. A man who knew his greatness better than anyone. That's what makes Wade's words hit harder than any argument from fans or analysts. When someone who fought beside LeBron, who won titles with him, still places Jordan above all, the discussion shifts from opinion to reality. Wade's confession wasn't just personal, it was generational. He spoke for those who saw Jordan live, who felt that indescribable energy when number 23 stepped onto the hardwood. Because Jordan didn't just dominate, he changed the atmosphere. He turned arenas into theaters of inevitability, where opponents already knew the ending before the game began. He wasn't simply the best player, he was a force of nature, a phenomenon that combined talent, mentality, and intimidation in a way no one else has replicated. That's the difference Wade was talking about, the aura. The thing stats can't measure, the thing LeBron, for all his brilliance, never possessed. The end of every barbershop debate, every heated family argument, every late-night GOAT discussion, the truth still stands firm. LeBron has the numbers, he's the all-time leading scorer, top 5 in assists and rebounds, and has rewritten longevity records. But numbers don't terrify opponents.